remember what you did, Nancy? Or have you already forgotten? When I kill someone, I never forget.
In a lot of ways, Vecna is like our own negative self-talk, that voice inside our head of feeling guilt or shame and feeling bad about what we've done. He's trying to bring Nancy to this really dark place by bringing up all of these different traumas. And he's implying that Nancy is to blame for the death of Barb.
I see you've been looking for me, Nancy. You were so close to the truth.
How do you find out what actually motivates someone? As humans, we're very pattern organized, even narcissistic sociopaths such as Vecna. And so when someone changes their pattern, there's always a reason for it. And Vecna's interaction with Nancy is very different. There seems to be something that Vecna actually is intrigued by Nancy being able to figure him out, to be able to get this close to the truth.
I've been busy. So very busy.
What I tell you?
Wow. This is so different. So instead of just wrapping Nancy up and being able to control her and wanting to feed off of her, what Vecna is doing instead is he's showing her Henry's past, his inception, what made him who he is. And you really have to ask yourself, why would he do this with Nancy? Why is this so very different than the way that he handled the people that he fed off of?
Like you, I didn't fit in with the other children. All the teachers and the doctors said I was broken.
And do you see that voice change? It's no longer this scary Vecna's voice. He doesn't want to traumatize Nancy. He wants her to understand him. And so he's using his own voice when he was Henry. And he starts off immediately with a statement of an us, an inclusive one, like you. And whenever we use those type of statements, we're saying we're not that different. That's when we want people to understand us. Why? Why does Henry want Nancy to understand him? And at first, I actually thought that it was that, Nancy is a reporter and she's intrigued by him, and he wanted to be able to have this space to be able to share, to be able to be actually understood. As I looked through the scene a little bit more, the pieces that were in play were a little bit different. It went back to the interaction that he had with 11.
I could make my own rules.
Nancy makes this perfect vessel because she's already been to the upside down and she already has a connection to Vecna. So he's able to bring her there, but he's not feeding off of her. He's giving her, imparting with her information. I think that this is more Vecna's narcissistic traits that pulls him to Nancy, why he wants to give her this information versus his sociopathy. And yes, he may do a lot of monologuing and he may want to give terror and fear and play with her, but he's not doing a lot of that with Nancy. The interaction is different.
We could reshape the world, remake it however we see fit. Join me. No.
Vecna gets rejected. He, as a malignant narcissist, will take rejection exceptionally bad. That has created a huge wound in Vecna. That's the reason why he never leaves Hawkins. It isn't because these are the easiest people to prey upon. It isn't even that he dislikes this area because he was sent there and Dr. Brenner has made him feel pain. It's that he wants to get to 11. He wants her to regret that she rejected him. And when you reject someone that's such a strong, violent, malignant narcissist, it's exceptionally dangerous.
See? There's nothing to be afraid of, is there, Nancy?
Why don't you take a seat?
He wants Nancy to feel afraid. He wants 11 to know that all of the people that she cares about, he can get to. He can traumatize. This is his payment for hurting him, rejecting him.
Now you've seen where I've
this with anyone else. He didn't care to show them what is his master plan.
I want you to tell 11 everything you see.
The first time that I went through this, I actually thought that it was Nancy's positivity that protected her from Vecna, because she handles her traumas really well. She's able to compartmentalize and deal with them, and she doesn't have a strong negative voice. You can tell that by the way that she speaks to others and to herself. We often tell people that when someone shows you who they are, believe it, and it's Vecna's own words that tells us exactly why he chose Nancy and what he wants from her. But I also think that because of Nancy's positivity, she isn't a great source of fear and trauma. And so that's another reason why we know that he's chosen her for a different purpose. This is the entire reason that he shared with Nancy all of the things, one, that he shared with 11. He can try to make her see that he wasn't a horrible person, that he had to do this, that he served a greater purpose, that because of 11's rejection, everyone that she cares about is going to pay, so that she regrets the choices that she made. And I think that a lot of times when we've been deeply hurt, we go through these revenge fantasies of wanting to be able to have a different answer, to make someone regret hurting us. And to have the revenge fantasies are not damaging in and of themselves, though Vecna goes fully through with them, and that's a different story.
I saw a dark cloud spreading over Hawkins. Downtown on fire.
And then after that, Vecna shares all of that destruction of the world that 11 cares about. He releases her so that she can go back and be able to tell the person he actually cares about how it's because of her that everyone's gonna suffer. The reasons that he chose Nancy was because she's connected to 11. She already is also connected to Vecna by her traveling to the Upside Down. And Nancy is a reporter. She already wanted to find out the truth. So she also has so much of the backstory already. She has a trauma that he could pull through with the death of Barb. So it ended up making her the perfect emissary so that Vecna could reach 11 and make her pay and feel fear and trauma for his rejection.
I want you to tell 11 everything you see.
There are many things that you need to know in order to survive the Upside Down. So if you want to be able to increase your chances of escaping Vecna's grasp, you should check out today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant is where you get to gain an understanding of the basics of computer science, physics, quantum mechanics, game theory, and everything you need to bring out the best, brightest you. Brilliant is the online interactive STEM learning platform with a growing catalog of courses specifically crafted to help you gain and learn concepts by working on them yourself in visual, hands-on ways. All the lessons are presented in bite-sized pieces so you can learn at your own pace. There's no pressure, and if you ever feel stuck, Brilliant has in-depth explanations that break down the material even more, like their algorithm neural network and machine learning courses where you get to shift blocks of pseudocode around, and you get to receive immediate feedback, which means that you get results. It's like you're solving puzzles or games, and the whole time you're learning how artificial intelligence really works. To get started for free, visit brilliant.org/Georgia Dow or click on the link in the description, and the first 200 people will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. So just click on the button on the screen or head on over to brilliant.org/Georgia Dow. Clicking on that button really helps out this channel, and so does clicking on the playlist above for more videos on reactions and psychologies. Let me know your feelings of why Vecna chose Nancy. Do you think that I'm on the money, or do you have your own theory? And hopefully if you like this video and you found it useful or you learned something, please hit subscribe and share.